Well, interest rates have been raised a little bit. People may be getting a little nervous about that right now, maybe thinking that they missed out on the lower rates, but is that true or not? We've got a St. Louis real estate expert with us, Kathy Helbig-Strick, to talk about everything, to make sure people understand what's real, what isn't. Have buyers or sellers missed anything? Is anybody at an advantage? So let's start right off the bat. Sure. You hear, oh my gosh, the interest rates are going up for the first time in years. What does that actually mean and how much right now?
So the Fed's raising rates are not necessarily in conjunction with mortgage rates. So a lot of times people think that means rates have raised across the board. But in this case, you might see some adjustable rates raised, but it's mostly like short-term loans like credit cards, car loans that are affected by the Fed raising rates. They do raise them sometimes to control inflation. We might see a little bit of that coming down the road. We have seen a little bit of rates tick up, but we're still talking about the low to mid fours at this point. So we're still on that spectrum of historic low rates. So it does affect a buyer's buying power though. So if you have rates tick up just a little bit, they might have to dial back on the price point of home that they were looking for if they're trying to keep their payment the same.
I've been interviewing you for years now.
Yes, you have.
If anybody knows the market, it's you. I've seen you say, hey, this is what's going to happen, and it happens, or look out for this. What do you see with the market? Because some may think that it's been up and down all around, and who knows what's next.
Yeah, I think the whole story about the rates is it going to slow the housing market? Like that's what I think people are hoping to hear. But in reality, we still have such a supply and demand issue that even if rates tick up and it knocks a few people out of the market, there still has so much inventory that has to come into play to really slow the housing market down. So we're not going to see a bubble. We're not going to see rates go up to 5 or 5.5%, and the brakes are going to be put on. There's just too many pent-up buyers that are looking for houses. For an instance, we had a house this week that went almost 35% over asking price.
Oh my gosh.
So what might happen is, sure, it might go from 50 offers to 40. You know, but we're not going to slow down at,
But with that being said, we've got about 30 to 40 seconds left. What advice do you have? Because we all know it's limited inventory right now.
It's limited inventory. And the best thing you can do if you're a seller is get your house on the market because you're going to maximize. If you're a buyer, you really need to know what you're doing. There is so many different strategies to being able to get your foot in the door and have your offer looked at that you have to be pre-approved completely. You have to know your finance abilities. You have to know what contingencies you're comfortable stripping off, because the normal sales contract is probably not going to be looked at.
How can people reach you if they want to reach you or somebody in your staff to maybe ask some more personal, detailed questions?
Reach out by cell 314-276-SOLD, or you can hit our website at experience-re.com. We've got a slew of agents that are trained every single week. We're talking strategies to get our buyers in the door and contracts won. So
you love this, don't you?
I do love this.
Kathy Helbig-Strick, thanks again for your time. Kathy, Amelia will send it back to you.